Hey fellow Force users, what is up? It's Jasmine, the Ahsoka Tano fan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, back at it again. It's time for another episode of The Acolyte, and we're almost at the finale now. This is actually the penultimate episode, I believe, so we're definitely getting towards the end. But yeah, guys, so last episode we saw essentially Osha and Kamir off doing their own thing on an unknown planet. I know some of you guys had your thoughts as to what that planet could be. And we saw that Kamir was actively trying to seduce Osha, it looked like, probably to the dark side. Those scenes were definitely interesting, to say the least. He definitely did seem to be trying to seduce her. And you kind of have to wonder if he tried the exact same approach with Mae or if he changed his approach a little bit with Osha. You also got to see Mae and Soul have their interactions as well. It definitely feels as though we are getting closer to the truth now. At the end of last episode, Soul said that he had to talk to Mae, so we can assume that that is about what happened on Brendok, which has been an ongoing mystery since day one, or episode 1, I should say. And we also have to find out what's going on with Kamir as well. He spoke a lot about his past and how he was discarded. He had those markings on his back, and a couple of you guys mentioned as well that you thought Vernestra could potentially be the master that he was referring to, his master that discarded him. And if that's the case, it would definitely make sense, because we did see that she had a lightsaber type whip in last episode, and I think the only possible significance of that scene would have been to show us that she might have been the one that inflicted those markings. Otherwise, it would kind of be potentially a random scene to have. And we also have to find out exactly why Osha left the order, because that is another question that we don't yet have the answer to. So yeah, anyways guys, that's pretty much what happened last week. So without further ado guys, let's slice our way into episode 7 now of The Acolyte and check out what's in store for us. This episode's called Choice. I wonder what the choice is and who's going to make it. Okay, so we're doing another time jump backwards. I wonder if this is before or after they all died, the witches. What are they doing? Are they taking samples of the planet maybe to see if they can have a colony set up there? Tommen. Man, life as a Jedi wasn't nearly as exciting back then as it was during the prequels, eh?
I'm just sick of eating Nuna legs. And I want to go home to Coruscant. We've been here for 7 weeks.
That's a long time to be there, 7 weeks.
Years ago, this planet was catalogued as lifeless. Yet this planet, Brendok, is thriving.
So there's some plants here. Big deal.
Calm yourself. Do not center around your anxieties.
I don't think he's anxious. I think he's bored.
We are looking for a virgins.
A concentration of force energy centered around a location.
This is a noble mission.
Is that their version of chicken? Guys, hold on. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is probably gonna be a whole flashback episode. I kind of don't like when shows do this. I'd rather not have an entire flashback episode. I'd rather they kind of, spread it out over segments. Even if a part of the episode was a flashback. Because I kind of want to see the present day story move ahead,
Do not confuse Torben's feelings with your own. I do not tell him answers to ease his mind. I teach him to seek the answers for himself. That's why I have a Padawan and you do not. We'll split up then.
Oh, never a good idea to split up. Is anybody else feeling robbed that we didn't get a Soul and Indara spin-off or something, or see more of them working together? I feel like they would actually make a pretty good duo. Oh, this is where he spots the twins by the tree. And those, that's that blue butterfly thing. I don't know what that was. It looked like something between a butterfly and a jellyfish.
Don't you tree so beautiful?
Yep.
I miss you. Always worrying for us. Nice to see. I give you gifts.
Yeah, their mother comes.
We are not alone. Indara, can you read me?
So it took them 7 weeks to find them, eh? They must have not been looking very hard. I wonder if they somehow started the fire accidentally, trying to breach their compound here. Is that possible? They, or even just Soul? And he's seeing the Force. Oh. Oh, right. You know what? Because in that episode, she kind of walked away randomly, but they never showed anything after that. Now we know why she walked away, because she heard something or sensed something.
A force cold here.
I think they're witches.
Night sisters.
I fear for the girl's safety.
Indara, I know you would
They're
defer to
the
the council.
moons, like in the logo.
Come with me. See what I have seen.
Yeah, you know what, guys? That's 100% what happened, I think. They're going to mess up the electrical system and start the fire accidentally. But still doesn't explain why Mae started a fire too, though. Like with Osha's book, she
There
burned
are
Osha's
over
book.
50 of them.
50 women. And only 2 children.
We should go as a team.
You're trespassing.
Forgive our intrusion. We thought this planet was uninhabited.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh yeah, she did something to him. Now we're going to see what he sees.
Corbin, son of paupers from the planet Bonadon.
Wait, she wasn't saying all this to him in the episode, though. I think she's just speaking to him directly through his mind.
Strong and good Jedi. Do you have natural desires you suppress? Do you wish to escape this planet?
Man, she's giving me real Khmer energy right now. The way he was trying to seduce Osha. Feels like she's trying to seduce him.
I can help you. Osha. You wish to return to Coruscant. Your master denies you.
I want to return to Coruscant.
Kneel. If you want your Padawan returned to his right mind, I suggest you all leave. Now.
Mama, please let me take the test.
Mother Aniseya, you cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential Padawans. With your permission, of course.
Doesn't sound like she has much choice but to give it.
We appreciate your
It's
cooperation.
interesting that she went after Torben, him being the youngest. It almost does seem like Mother Aniseya tries to teach younglings. Maybe because they're the most open, receptive. But it's also potentially a little bit dark, you know. But I guess the Jedi they do that too. They
That was
recruit
clever.
younglings, right?
Suggesting we test the girls. Buys me time to ask the council for guidance.
Oh, he was being serious.
I feel a connection to Osha.
I feel she's meant to be my Padawan. They mocked her sister with dark magic.
Alexei.
But Osha did not have one. I believe she wants to live with us.
Do not confuse what Osha wants with what you want.
Oh. She said something similar to him regarding Torben too, didn't she? Earlier? Don't confuse his feelings with your own or something like that.
Do not confuse Torben's feelings with your own.
I just need to take a sample of your blood. Is that okay?
Just through her shirt like that? You don't have to roll up her sleeve.
Testing.
What do you want me to do?
Straight to the point.
Tell us what you see.
A spaceship. A castle.
Not even close.
A necklace.
The image hasn't appeared.
Can I go back to my family now?
What was everyone doing in the courtyard?
Ascension.
Yeah, we never got to see Mae's test the first time, did we? I thought we only saw Osha's.
Ascension means Osha and I will lead the coven. That's why I have a marking like Mama.
But your children, how can you become the leaders?
Maybe she just meant one day they'll become leaders. Not right now.
Mama said everyone must walk through fear. Everyone must be sacrificed to fulfill their destiny.
Oh, that's not what they want to hear, Mae. Now they're going to think they're sacrificing children. Oh, gosh.
I would like to try a different approach with the other child.
You may.
That's why he
Are
lied
other
for her.
children there?
Thousands like us.
I want to be a Jedi.
Then you must have the courage to tell the truth.
We should continue the test.
Torben relates to this conversation, looks like.
A planet.
Correct.
So maybe Indara didn't know that he was lying for her. Oh, wait, hold on. there actually was a planet. Now I gotta rewatch that episode. Did he? When he said correct, I thought he was lying for Osha the first time.
You, Sol, and Kalnaka continue the field work. I'll wait here until Coruscant makes contact with us.
Man, he wants to go home. I can't blame him.
Osha passed.
The way he said that sounds like she died.
The council said no.
Oh.
They will not sanction bringing the twins to Coruscant. They say that we have interfered too much already.
Is it possible she's lying? Maybe not. Eh?
I want to do what's best for Osha.
You don't get to decide that.
It's the twins' blood test results.
They have a high M
M count
count.
is very high.
Yup.
Their symbionts are the same.
They are twins.
No, exactly the same. Even identical twins would have different symbionts.
Right. Because that one lady did say wait until they find out how you made them.
One consciousness into two bodies?
Only a virgins could create that type of power.
Always one but born as two. They were literally telling the truth about that.
Go!
So they actually are the same person, which would make sense as to why Amanda Stenberg plays both of them. I wonder if maybe they should have gotten actual young twins as well to play them so they can look like the same person.
I must discuss the situation with everyone here, but we will consider your wish when we do so.
I love you, Mama.
Aww.
I love you.
You want to stop Osha from leaving? Then stop her.
She put her up to this?
Good girl. Get mad.
Alright.
You would sacrifice our future for the wish of a child, but you are also our leader.
Right now, I choose Mother.
So she is messing up the electrical system.
Witches, arm yourselves!
But I don't think Mother Aniseya knows this is going down right now.
You can't go. We're stuck here now.
Follow me.
Okay. So that makes sense as to why Mae said that, but I still don't know why she lit the book on fire.
Go. We must stop him before he starts a conflict.
Get everyone in the common room. Prepare for battle.
So we knew it was some type of fight that caused their death, not the fire.
I told you we cannot use violence.
And I told you I would die before I let the Jedi take my children.
So it was an accident? Oh my gosh. But what did you think was gonna happen? You lit an actual fire. Oh my gosh. Mae. This girl lights an actual fire and then gets shocked when a fire happens. Come on, girl. Oh man. She could have just taken the book with her without lighting it on fire. There comes Sol and Torben.
Take another step and it will be your last.
Quite the threat.
You wish to know if we will allow Osha to join you, to be raised by an institution instead of a family.
Where did they come from?
We knew that question was coming, guys.
How were they created?
How were they created?
Someday, those noble intentions you all have will destroy every Jedi in the galaxy.
It's not 100% false.
Mama, help!
Osha!
Wrong one. Wait, what? What? Hold on. What? Wait, I'm so confused. So, what?
I was going to let Osha go.
Oh
She
no,
wants-
why did they do it like that?
She chose you.
They both were kind of disintegrating. Are they the same? So they both must be Mother Aniseya then.
Mama! Mama!
Shoot. Her marking is glowing now.
Me.
I don't know. I don't know why Sol did that though. Did he think she was trying to take her or something? But this girl almost looked like she was ready to fight too before he even did that. Wait, that didn't even seem to faze him. Oh, Tommen is pretty good with the lightsaber.
Fight me!
He feels bad for what he just did. Is that all from the same fire? Okay, so she disappeared. Oh, she's gonna go into Torben maybe? Oh, Kelnaka. It's kind of reminding me of Mortis a little bit. Wait, are they there or are they in another room? Those witches they just showed. At least we're getting more lightsaber action. You know, guys, I will never say no to that. Kelnaka's like Ahsoka fighting Anakin and Obi-Wan. Whoa, he almost got sliced in half. Wow. He's strong though. Oh, I just heard Kylo Ren's theme again, I think. Okay, where's Indara? Oh, that was like a Matrix move right there. Oof. So what are they do? Are they helping to control Kelnaka? There she is. Where are they right now, those witches? Oh, they're inside. That's why they look like they were all dead in episode 3. So I bet you he has to choose to save one, but he chose Osha over Mae.
Mama's dead. What have you done?
Shoot, it's too bad they can't go backward. They seem like they're going closer to the edge. See? Yeah, he can't hold both of them, guys. That's what it is. He lets one of them go. He lets Mae go. Wow, but Osha didn't see that.
I got you.
Damn. Oh, man. Well, I can see why Vernestra wanted to keep this top secret, because this was definitely a failure in almost every regard.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's why his eye was messed up.
We're going home.
Hey, he finally got what he wanted.
I warned both of you,
I wanted the twins to be safe.
with no thought of the consequences.
Master!
They're about to fight right now? The Trinity just came out.
What will we tell the council?
We will tell the council the truth.
Where do you even start?
Mae burned down the witch's fortress, and everyone was lost.
I must face the council.
Why would you do that to her? After everything this little girl has lost tonight, you take away her dream as well? Ask yourself why you made this choice.
They already messed up big time.
What happened?
Well, a lot.
Mae started a fire.
Let me know the rest. Okay. Lots to talk about. This is an interesting song choice. It feels different for Star Wars, but it's pretty though. Alright guys, so definitely some stuff to break down there. I will say there were definitely good moments, but there were a couple things about the episode I wasn't super crazy about, but we'll start with the good first. First of all, I love the fact that we got more lightsaber action. I mentioned that during my reaction. I also love the fact that we got a lot of much needed answers. We were wondering from the very first episode what was actually going on and what actually happened with Mae and Osha. What is the secret that the Jedi are perhaps trying to cover up? And this episode answered a lot of those questions. As it turns out, what we learned from this episode is that one, the Jedi didn't actually fully lie, but rather they did not tell the full truth. And also, Mae isn't really the criminal that they painted her to be. And I think the reason why they painted her in such a light was to cover up their own guilt, I guess, to prevent themselves from taking full accountability for why everything went wrong. So you could tell from this episode that the Jedi arguably interfered too much with this witch coven. But as much as they did interfere too much, you could definitely see everybody's point of view. This is one thing I did really like about the episode, actually, was the fact that from every character you could see where they were coming from. For example, with Indara, I definitely get her not really wanting to interfere because they had just discovered this coven, they don't know much about them, and interfering could potentially bring about consequences, and which is what she tried to warn them about. In a similar way, Mother Aniseya didn't want to use violence, and you could argue that actually Mother Aniseya and the other lady, I believe her name's Coral, their disagreement is similar to Indara and Soul's disagreement. Mother Aniseya didn't want violence, Mother Coral was ready to use violence. Indara didn't want to interfere, Soul was ready to interfere. And why did Soul want to interfere? Because he thought that the twins were potentially in danger. You could see where everybody was coming from in that sense, but it's ironic as well because as much as Soul thought the twins were in danger and that's why he wanted to help, he kind of put them in more danger and both of them ended up almost dying. And you saw at the end there that he had to end up making a choice between saving one or the other, and he ended up choosing Osha. And the episode was called Choice as well, so I think it's probably related to that. It could also be related to Osha's choice to want to go and leave with the Jedi. But I noticed during that scene though with Mae and Osha, it didn't really seem like anybody was trying to back away from where the break was in that bridge. It seemed as though they were moving closer almost. But I don't know if that was because they were trying to reach out to the other person and help each other with the Force, perhaps. You could argue that within the coven as well, there are both seeds of light and dark in a way. Mother Aniseya, you could argue, is more of the light side in the sense that she doesn't want to resort to violence as the first option. And then Mother Coral perhaps has more seeds of darkness potentially. She was trying to get Mae to tap into her anger, to fight back. But perhaps it is not that black and white like Kamira talked about last episode though. Everybody has these emotions, right? So perhaps it's just a matter of how you balance them, and that determines whether or not you fall completely to the dark side, rather than just having those emotions by themselves. I find it interesting how Mother Aniseya talked about Order 66 in a sense. She warned that the Jedi's ways will eventually lead to their downfall, and that's exactly what happened with Order 66 and the rise of the Empire. And it definitely does bring up the question of whether or not Jedi should be more peacekeepers or soldiers, and this is even something that Ahsoka and Barriss discussed during the Brain Invaders episode. It makes you wonder if the Jedi had taken on more of that peacekeeper role and not tried to interfere, would there have been more peace? But at the same time, you could also argue that maybe if they don't step up and interfere when it's needed, there would be less peace that way as well. So there are some people that the Jedi would perhaps need to help and they would need to interfere in that sense. But in other cases, like we saw in this episode, their interfering made matters much worse. Mother Aniseya also made the comparison of family and institution. So that's very interesting how she looks at their coven as being a family and a healthy environment for the twins to grow up under, whereas the Jedi, she sees it as an institution. But also many Jedi, including Ahsoka, who grew up with the Order, that is like their family as well. That's kind of what I mean when I say you could look at it from both ways. You could look at the Jedi also as having a family environment, but to someone on the outside, it could look like an institution. When it comes to the Coven, they feel like their environment is a family type of environment, but to someone like the Jedi on the outside, they look at it as perhaps being darker and whatnot. I found Torben interesting this episode though, because it seemed as though he always wanted to go home and he wasn't happy with where they were. You kind of see him being similar to Mae almost. Just like Torben wants to go back home to Coruscant, Mae wants to stay home with her coven. I also feel as though Mother Aniseya kind of exploited that a little bit by getting into his head and finding out that that was his weakness, if you will, or source of anxiety. And I think she kind of preyed on that a little bit. And in a similar way, the Jedi try to persuade the twins as well to coming with them and leaving their coven behind. We saw the test done as well that Soul and Indara were running on the twins, and we got to see more of it this time. I still have to rewatch this part of episode 3, but I seem to remember Soul lying on Osha's behalf. But in this episode, it looked as though Osha actually got the answers right. Maybe he lied initially and then spoke with Osha, and then she got the answers right when she started being honest. But either way, he used a different approach with Osha than he did with Mae. He, rather than making her feel pressured to join the Jedi, he tried to entice her by letting her know that there are other younglings just like her. And so it does lead you to wonder, had he used that same approach with Mae, would things have been different, and would Mae have been more open to joining the Jedi? Is that the reason why both sisters have such different views? Another reveal this episode was how the twins were created, and it seems as though they are in fact the same person, as though one consciousness was put into two people. That would definitely make sense as to why Mother Coral didn't want the Jedi to find out how the twins were created. But yeah, it does seem as though they are in fact the same person, and that definitely gives a lot more meaning to when they say always one but born as two. They are literally one. And it makes you wonder where their consciousness came from. Was it Mother Aniseya? During that scene when Mother Aniseya began to disintegrate, it looks like she was disintegrating at the same time, or transforming, if you will, at the same time as Mae. So I wonder if it was her consciousness that was put into Osha and Mae. This kind of leads me to my head scratching moments, I'll call them. During that scene when Mother Aniseya was about to transform and then Soul killed her, that really didn't make sense to me. It wasn't that believable that he would do that. When someone's transforming, why as a Jedi would you just rush to kill them? Why would you not observe them and see what they're transforming to, right? I don't know. That part of the episode didn't really seem that well written to me. I think it would have been a lot more believable if they were engaged in some sort of fight and then he ended up killing her while fighting her, or if he killed her by accident. I don't know. I don't know what you guys thought of that scene, but it just seemed kind of out of nowhere. Also, why didn't Mother Coral have more of a reaction to Mother Aniseya's death? When she's stabbed right in front of her and drops dead, it seems like she has no reaction. Mae was the one that had all the reaction. So with regards to Mae starting the fire, it does seem as though she did in fact start a fire and it was an accident. But at the same time, it's like, girl, what do you think is going to happen when you're lighting an actual fire? And then not only is the book on fire, but then she drops it. So obviously it's going to start a fire, right? And she did try and get help afterwards and she wasn't able to. So the fire spread, understandably. But I don't know why she would do that in the first place. I think maybe they could have written that a little bit better. They could have done something else. Like she took the book, and while she ran out of the room, then she knocked against the lantern at the side accidentally, and the lantern fell and caused the fire. You know, something like that I think would have been a little more believable. I also did mention in my reaction, I typically prefer when shows don't have flashback episodes. I much prefer flashback scenes. So what I mean by that is I would rather this whole story of what happened on Brendok be told in segments while the main story is still moving ahead. As much as I love the fact that we got more answers, we didn't see any of the current present day storyline move forward. So that leaves less time for us to see that story, if that makes sense. Whereas I feel like if they kind of broke it up over the episodes and paced it that way, it would have left us wanting more and wanting to see the flashback continued while still moving that main storyline along. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts of the episode, guys. You let me know down below in the comments, as always, what you thought and what you're looking forward to next week. And as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you next week for an all new episode of The Acolyte and also the season 1 finale. Until next time, guys, take care and see you soon.